Look at it. Look at the sun. Look at this. People are screaming. The castle is going into darkness. Oh, the humanity. Why won't these people stop screaming and panicking? This is just like Y2K all over again.
The sky's falling. The sky's falling. Oh, it's not.
Well, look at that. Down below us, Disneyland in broad daylight. But wait, is it broad daylight? It's a sometimes vlog. Yeah. Actually, the daylight is looking a little strange already because this isn't just any ordinary day at the Disneyland Resort. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2024. And this isn't quite broad daylight because something unusual is happening to the sun. And if we look at it through this very special high-tech pair of glasses, you can see that it is starting to be obscured by some kind of object. And what is that? That, my friends, is the moon passing in front of the solar disk, because today is the day of a total solar eclipse. Now, unfortunately, here in Southern California, we're not going to see a total full solar eclipse, and that's why I was supposed to be in Austin, Texas today with my brother to experience the full and total power of the eclipse. Unfortunately, the closer we got to the last second, we would have had to leave to get to Austin, Texas in time. It looked like the weather reports were getting worse and worse. There was more and more cloud cover over there, and it just wasn't worth the risk of a whole trip. Now, this was a heavy blow indeed, because in 2017, I did see totality. I was with my friend Adam the Woo. We were up in Idaho. We saw a total eclipse of the sun. And before that moment, I had never thought eclipses were cool. I was like, who cares? The sun is in a different shape. But that totality, that full eclipse was amazing. It was like being, witnessing a portal to another dimension or something like that. So since I couldn't go to Texas today, at first I was resolved to do nothing. If I can't see the whole shebang, I don't want to see anything at all. But once I was done being ridiculous, I realized, you know what? It'll still be cool to see the sun turn into Pac-Man, to see a little chunk of the sun go away. And I'm guessing the light is gonna look a little different out here in a little bit. Now, if you're in the path of totality, if you're in one of those spots that gets completely blocked out by the moon, where the sunlight gets completely blocked out by the moon, then basically the daytime will turn to nighttime, as we saw in 2017. That's not gonna happen out here, but the sun is going to be dimmed. Some things I saw said about 36% in Southern California, other things I saw said about 50%. Basically, the dimmer switch is going on in a little while. In fact, it's already started. As you can see here, the sun is moving. Well, the sun isn't moving. The moon is moving across the sun. The sun is moving behind the moon, whatever you want to say. It's already happening out here. It's about 10:45 as I stand here between DCA and old school Disneyland, about 30 minutes away from the height, the peak of what we're gonna see in Southern California. And already you can see the shadows are kind of long. For getting towards noon, these are some long shadows, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's sort of a weird reddish tint to everything. Now, I don't have a fancy camera on me. I don't even have any fancy lenses. I don't even have my normal camera or my normal lenses on me. All we've got are a couple of cell phones and, of course, our super high-tech Eclipse specs from 2017. These are my actual specs from the 2017 total full eclipse, which Allie will be shooting some cell phone footage of the eclipse through. And again, here in California, we are not in the path of totality. We're not gonna see day turn fully into night, but I figured since we live in the neighborhood, we might as well see what the solar eclipse looks like from Disneyland. Most people do not seem to be looking at the sun or really here for the eclipse, except for this one family. I see they've got a pair of eclipse glasses. Might be interesting to see as we get closer. Oh wait, I see another person with eclipse glasses. It might be interesting as we get closer to time to see how many more people bust out their eclipse shades to take a peek. I was kind of half expecting or half wondering if Disneyland was gonna pass out any eclipse glasses or make a big to-do out of it. But so far as I've entered in here, it just looks like any other day in Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom. Of course, a lot has changed in the world since 2017, since that last eclipse. And in some ways, it doesn't seem like the world has ever been the same since 2017, right? A lot of things have changed in the past, 7 or 8 years. And of course, some people are predicting that this solar eclipse will be the apocalypse. And that was another good reason to come down here, because if you're gonna have to ride out the apocalypse, what better place than the happiest place on earth? All right, my beautiful assistant here is gonna take a look at the sun. Let's see what we're seeing. Oh yeah, it looks like a crescent moon already, as Allie just said. It really, boy, that's a big difference. Oh boy, that's a big difference. Dude, that is unbelievable looking. And as you might expect, you can actually sort of make out what's going on with the naked eye if you glimpse at it really quick, which you are absolutely not supposed to do. It'll burn out your eyeballs or whatever. But due to lack of brain power, you know, some low brain activity, I keep forgetting that and glancing directly at it. I mean, I got sunglasses on, but trust me, that makes no difference. Look at that. That is so crazy. Oh my gosh, it may not be totally dark here, but look how slightly dim it is. Oh my gosh, the Main Street vehicles look slightly dimmer. The popcorn cart looks slightly dimmer. Allie, you look slightly dimmer. I don't know if it's just me, but I want to say there's a weird vibe in the air, a weird sense of solar power. We got to get towards the castle though. We got to get towards the castle for what's gonna pass in California for totality. Boy, there really is something strange afoot. Look at this, it's the middle of the day. And Disneyland doesn't appear to be crowded at all on Main Street anyway. Weird. All right, now Allie, you did not get to come with me in 2017 when me and Adam saw the total solar eclipse. And you would not have been able to come to Texas with me because you have school, you got ceramics class and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So at least the one benefit of me not going to Texas and seeing the totality is I get to share the eclipse with you and your high-tech equipment, the specs. Look at that, Allie. Safe for direct solar viewing. It's crazy what a difference they make, huh?
I know.
You got all surprised. You were looking through them like, oh my gosh, they're pitch black unless you look directly at the sun. Well, that's what they're for. They block out everything else.
Yeah.
All you could see is the sun and the apocalypto moment. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look how crazy that is. That is insane. My friend Ben was just saying, he's like, I've never understood the whole thing with solar eclipses. You know, oh, the sun looks like someone took a bite out of it and then everything goes back normal 5 minutes later. Big deal. And I used to feel exactly the same way. As a matter of fact, in 2017, I wasn't even planning on going up to see the eclipse. I just happened to already be up there. My friend Adam hit me up. He's like, come on, let's go do it. All right. But once I saw it for myself, once I saw the sun blocked out by the moon, once I saw day turn to night and the seas turn to blood. Okay, not that part literally. I was impressed. And all I wanted to do, like Dr. Soren in Star Trek, is get back to the Nexus, get back to that portal to another dimension, get back to the solar eclipse. It's not gonna happen this time. Hopefully, I'll have another chance in my life. And look who else is excited. Look at Walt. He's telling Mickey all about the eclipse. Walt wants to see the eclipse, but he doesn't have special glasses. Oh my gosh, that is so weird. Look at that, you take off the solar glasses. Can't even tell what's going on up there. You really have to look through these things. It's so weird. See, no wonder that we thought eclipses were boring when we were kids. They didn't give us these, not at my elementary school at least. They gave us like a paper plate and we had to cut a hole in it. Did you ever do that, Allie? Like the paper plate with a hole in it? Or there's something with leaves, like if you look at the shadows coming through the leaves, you can see some weird shape. I don't really see it now, but that's what we were told when we were kids. Like, don't look at it. We'll cut a hole in the paper plate. We'll look at a shadow in the ground. And I was never impressed. I was like, okay, I don't get it, you know. But with these things, which are, you know, obviously cheap, they're cardboard, they're like 3D glasses from a movie theater. I mean, they're high tech, they're very expensive. Look at this. Allie's trying to check out how she looks in the glass. Trust me, you look cool. Everybody looks cool in eclipse shades. Dude, that is pretty darn wild. What do you think, Allie?
It's really cool.
I know, right? It's awesome. Like, it's so weird and different. Seeing the sun basically turn into Pac-Man.
Yeah.
We sort of got here right in the nick of time because it's right now 11 o'clock. That means 15 minutes to the most coverage we're gonna get of the sun here today. I'll tell you what, I mean, I guess if you're not used to coming to Disneyland in the middle of the day, or if you didn't live right down here in Southern California the way we do, maybe you wouldn't notice the difference, but the shadow should not be this long on everything at the moment. There's sort of a dimness. It's very, very hard to explain. If you've ever lived anywhere near where there's big forest fires, which of course we also get in Southern California, that weird kind of haze in front of the sun where it's not too smoky, you can't see a cloud of smoke, but you just sort of walk outside and go, what the heck's going on? Ah, fire. It has that same sort of tint to everything. Definitely kind of a cool thing to be here at Disneyland. Right over here at the entrance to Tomorrowland. Ignore that hissing. Something's wrong with the Astro Orbiter at the moment. But here we are looking up into the sun right here underneath all of these revolving planets. The world of the future indeed. Whoa, look at the way it looks now. It looks like there's a whole chunk taken out of the bottom. I see we're not in totality because the moon is sort of passing kind of on the lower half of the sun here for us. See, and if we'd have been in Texas, we would have been at the perfect right angle right at this moment to really see what's going on. Oh well, that's okay. We may not be in Austin, Texas, but we are gonna see what this looks like in its totality for Southern California from right in front of Sleeping Beauty's castle. It's crazy because I can see a few people with sort of weird monoculars and some people with eclipse glasses, but for the most part, it looks like most people either have no idea what's going on or just simply don't care. They couldn't get some eclipse glasses at 7-Eleven today or whatever it was. This is very strange. I was bummed not to make the road trip to Texas. But really, seriously, you can't really come up with much of a better place than like, hey, we saw the eclipse standing in front of the Disneyland castle. That's kind of cool. And then, of course, if we're gonna come see it, we might as well share it with you. Oh my gosh, just 10 minutes to go. We are T-minus 10 minutes. And again, look at this. Can you tell? These swans are slightly dimmer. This owl is looking at his shadow like, who dimmed the lights? Snow White's over here wishing she was in Texas or Maine so she could see totality. But you know what? There's no better place to be, guys. There's no better place to be. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is this, a ring? We've discovered a ring. This ring might contain some sort of solar power. Quick, Allie. Use the power of the ring. All right, enough horsing around. We only have 5 minutes until the peak. Let's get over there on the bridge in front of the castle. Ooh, and here's what it looks like 5 minutes before the supposed peak. You can see the moon is almost in the center of the bottom of the sun right there. This is crazy. We're getting close. I guess this is pretty much as dim as it's gonna get, but there's only 5 minutes until it really happens. Everybody stay calm. Everybody remain calm, do not panic. Oh my gosh, you can see the way everybody's freaking out, the way everybody's losing their minds. People don't know which way to go. They don't know which way is up, which way is down. The sun is being extinguished. Special shout out to our solar scientist, Dr. Allie Warren over here for getting all that sick solar footage. Oh my gosh, this is the longest 5 minutes ever. Look at it. Look at the sun. Look at this. People are screaming. The castle is going into darkness. Oh, the humanity. Why won't these people stop screaming and panicking? This is just like Y2K all over again. Even the geese do not look perfectly calm. Just relax. Everything will be okay, Mother Goose.
You need to calm down.
I'm calm. I'm perfectly calm. I'm reasonable. I'm calm. Oh my gosh, this is pretty much peak. It must be. It looks pretty peak. What does it look like to you, Allie?
Yeah, it looks like the moon.
It looks like the moon? You mean the sun looks like the moon?
Yeah.
It looks like Mac tonight up there.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, maybe we'll get free Big Macs. Oh, look at this. We were able to help somebody out who didn't have glasses and got to take a peek. Okay, this is pretty much it. As you can see, look, the sun looks like it's sort of past the center, or I mean, sorry, the moon. I keep saying the sun. The moon looks like it's sort of passed over the center of the sun. We may have already hit peak here just a few minutes before they said it would happen. Science, what do they know, huh? Look at this. This is crazy. The light from the sun is being partially obscured. That's 93 million miles away, the sun from the earth. Meanwhile, the moon right now is only 240,000 miles from Earth. And that's much closer, but of course those numbers mean nothing to me. They are far too big, too many zeros. But basically, 240,000 versus 93 million, it is much, 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 much closer to us than the sun is, which is how it can kind of cover the sun and Mike Wazowski it and obscure the face of the sun down here on Earth if you're in, you know, at just the right angle in the path of totality. Of course, we're not here. We are, as you can see, in Anaheim, California, and not in the optimum position, but still, this is pretty darn cool if you've got the specs. I never thought I would need to use these again, but I am so glad I kept them. We were looking around, we were looking at 7-Eleven, I heard had some, and they were all sold out. I couldn't see them at 7-Eleven, and I was like, where the heck are we gonna get some eclipse glass? I woke up this morning you know, should I go to Disneyland? Should I not go to Disneyland? And then all of a sudden I remembered that I had kept my eclipse glasses from 2017 from Idaho Falls up there, where Adam the Woo and I think we bought those off like a random vendor in the park who just travels around the world selling solar eclipse glasses. And now we're here, look at it. Look at the sun obscured by the moon, 93 million miles away. The light is 93 million miles away. And then that dark shape right there, 240,000 miles above us, above the Earth. Crazy to think Neil Armstrong was up there and Buzz Aldrin and whatnot. All right, well, all this time we've been looking at it. Obviously, time has elapsed. Some of the eclipse has elapsed. It is no longer technically the peak. It was supposed to be right at 11:15. It's now 11:18. It doesn't really look that different than it looked 3 minutes ago. We're still right in it. This is still pretty much the peak. And oh Lord, look how dim it is out here. I can barely see. It's so dark. How will I ever find my footing? The dimness. The great dimness is covering the earth. The horses look dim. Frontierland looks dim. Adventureland looks dim. Thank goodness for those torches. Otherwise, we'd never see where we're going without the full sun. Main Street USA looks slightly dimmer. Slightly more darkness has fallen on the Matterhorn Mountain. And oh my gosh, look at this. Tomorrowland looks dim. The future is looking dim, people. And speaking of people, with the eclipse out here, I've never seen such dim looking people in my life. And I'm the dimmest looking of them all. Oh my gosh, Allie, look at how dim it is. You can barely see out here.
I know, you can see a shadow on like everything. It's weird.
Darkness has closed in all around us. Are these the end times? Will it all end right here at Disneyland today? Is humanity doomed to a future with less sunlight? Can we live in a world that is slightly less bright outside? Well, of course we can. All right, let's see where we're at here. Oh my gosh. The sun is full Pac-Man now. It's like Pac-Man upside down, eating his shoes, eating his feet over here. And I'm really glad I have these. You can't see anything with these on except the sun. Weird. I cannot believe we are getting these incredible cellular telephone views of this eclipse right here. We are so fortunate to have an eminent solar scientist with us over here, Dr. Allie, who normally is more into astrology in the newspaper or astrology memes than eclipses, but you know, she's lent her expertise here. Our high-tech scientific equipment. I really wonder where my friend Adam is right now. It was so emotional when we saw the total eclipse, which I will show you all the footage of at the end. And of course, I'll leave the link and you can go see the full video of that. Like I was saying, I thought it was a totally boring thing. I thought, okay, well, it's gonna get a little bit dark outside, who cares? 'Cause I've experienced it like this, you know, sans glasses many times in my life where you're like, why is it so dim outside? Is there a forest fire? Oh no, it's one of those eclipse days, a partial eclipse. And I think we've had a couple partial eclipses since that 2017 one.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you just barely notice. You just go on about your day. You just drive around, there's an eclipse, who cares? But this is a little bit different because I know that somewhere out there, people are experiencing the total solar eclipse as we speak. It's moving up towards Maine, towards the northeastern United States. And here I am left behind. I'm gonna have to find a dead planet. I'm gonna need a rocket. I'm going to need to get myself into that Nexus one day. Captain Kirk and Captain Picard may try to stop me, but I am too many for them in my brain. Yeah. What do you think, Allie?
It's so pretty.
Have you ever seen one before? Like when you were in school, did you guys do the paper plate thing?
I don't remember that, but I remember when I worked at Ulta, in 2017 we had one, and somebody had these.
Oh, so you actually saw it? Mm-hmm. While I was up in Idaho experiencing the darkness, you were seeing it like this?
Yeah.
Did it look similar to this? Was it like pretty close? Like
yeah.
In terms of totality?
It's pretty similar.
Yeah, a little Pac-Man action, a little Mac tonight. I really wish someday, well, hopefully the next time you won't even be in school and we can manage to get there ahead of time. I had planned on this for years. I was like, oh, the next one's in 2024, I'm going. Mm-hmm. And hopefully Austin got a little break in the clouds and the people that are there got to see it. By the time I knew that Austin wasn't really a guaranteed option, not guaranteed enough to spend all the money and driving and all that stuff, flights were like 10 times the normal price to get to anywhere with clear skies. Hotels are famously like some crazy 380% more or something like that. So there was 10 times the hotel prices up in Niagara Falls and all these different kind of places. So there are people that travel from all over the world to see solar eclipses, much less like hundreds and dozens of miles away. And so the traffic was super bad last time, and it's probably all for the best. We had no traffic getting down here because it's basically right in our own backyard, and we get to see a little eclipse action without basically leaving the comforts of home and the magic of Disneyland. Look at this. You gotta zoom way in, turn the brightness all the way down, but look at that. The moon has taken a bite out of the sun. McGruff has taken a bite out of crime. This is crazy. It's crazy because it takes just as long for the moon to drift off and get out of the way of the sun as it did for it to get in the middle of the sun. So I guess we have another 30 minutes here before the eclipse action is over. I really wanted to cut, you know, from all that stuff where I was screaming, will we ever see the light again? Straight into, of course we will. Look, it's already gone. But in reality, it'll be gone in another 30 or 40 minutes. Maybe we should get some coffee. Seriously, I can't believe how like normal everything is. They didn't hand out a button. They didn't hand out any glasses. A few people we've run into have had glasses. For the most part, we've been sort of, everybody that comes near us, we're like, hey, check it out and look through our glasses, you know. I wish I had known. I would have bought a whole pack of them on Amazon or whatever and brought them down to share with everybody, but it's kind of cool. Like little kids, Allie is like handing it to all the little kids. Yeah. And everybody who looks through it's like, oh, what? Let me see. And they're always like, oh, cool, huh?
Yeah.
So you're like the hero. You're like the champion of the kids over here, like handing out the solar. I keep looking right at it. What's wrong with me? Why do I insist on looking straight at it? What the heck is wrong with me? What were you just saying, Allie, a second ago?
I saw some video where some girl said she looked at the sun for 10 seconds and she got like this weird spot in her eye where she couldn't see.
Just 10 seconds? Can do that to you? 1,000. Nope, that's too many already.
How do you even look at the sun for 10 seconds?
I don't know. I just looked at it for just a 1,000 and then I was done. That was enough sun for my eyes. I think I have a good tan going on my retinas. Okay, this is nuts. This is the first time I've actually put the glasses on long enough to really look at this thing. And it is so crazy. There's no way you could see the moon with your naked eye. It's so bright. The sun is so bright. I couldn't even see it earlier. Well, I couldn't even see it earlier today when it wasn't in front of the sun. This just makes me wonder how like the Aztecs and, you know, all the ancient peoples, how did they actually look at the eclipse? They knew they were happening. They knew when they were happening. How did they actually look at the eclipse without these high-tech glasses? I mean, obviously when there was a full eclipse, they could see it. Everybody can see when that happens. It was so crazy last time that I turned to Adam afterwards and I told him, Allie, I was like, I kind of understand the whole apocalypto thing now, like running on a pyramid and just like cutting people down and everything, because it's just, you just feel crazy when it's going on. But when it's like this, obviously the ancients knew when they were partially, how did they know? How could they stare at that? Did somebody just go blind for the cause? Like, anyway, I gotta look that up.
Probably saw it in the trees.
Oh yeah, the leaf thing. I gotta figure out how that works one day. Again, it's so weird how normal everything is out here. I thought everyone was gonna go mad during the eclipse. So far, everybody's as calm as a cucumber. I don't think that's the expression. I just said so far everybody's calm as a cucumber. What is it? That's not it. Cool as a cucumber. I got there.
Look at what?
Do you want to look at the eclipse?
There's an eclipse?
Yeah, look, come over here in the sun. These are the special glasses.
What do I do with it?
You can stare right at the sun with these.
Oh, look at that.
What do you think?
It looks like the Cheshire Cat.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
You know what else looks like an eclipse? Oh, Alice. You look like an eclipse.
What?
An eclipse.
Is that where I jump in front of you? So no one can see your big
I
hat?
can't see anything though.
Let me try.
These don't work.
What's it? No.
No, they don't work.
What do you do with
You have to look right at the sun.
the sun?
Yeah, right
That's
behind
me.
you.
No, I'm the sun.
There's an eclipse.
Oh, I saw it!
I did too. I don't know what I saw, but I saw it.
Thank you guys.
Planet or something.
Does that mean the sky's falling? The sky's falling. The sky's falling.
This is the most fun part so far, is loaning everybody the glasses and watching everybody else's reactions. You know, this area was once King Triton's Gardens. Before that, the Alpine Gardens. And before that, it was the gardens for the House of the Future, which was just over here in these bushes was the base. So the old home of the future, Monsanto House of the Future, used to sit right there. We are standing in the garden of the house of the future, watching the solar eclipse. It's now 11:45. Supposedly there's about 30 more minutes of the sun looking like, as the Mad Hatter so eloquently put it, the Cheshire Cat, or at least the Cheshire Cat's smile. Just about 30 minutes left of this, which is crazy because the hype is over. You can definitely tell. The crowds have calmed down. Allie looks relatively calm. Everybody is just sort of peaceful. Nobody's freaking out. I thought everybody would be freaking out. I thought at least one person would go full Kali Ma and just reach in and grab a human heart. Something would happen. But no, it seems as if human civilization has once again survived the moon passing between us and the sun. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's getting a lot brighter out here again, which means, once again, the future is looking bright. Hey, look at this. I never thought about this before, but if you sit here right underneath the astral orbiter and wait for the perfect moment, one of these little planets actually obscures the sun. You can actually recreate your own solar eclipse right here at Disneyland. All right, it's now about 11:51, 11:52. Allie, what's happening?
It's going away.
It's starting to go away. The world is starting to return to normal. It is, in fact, actually getting a lot brighter out here. And it looks like my childhood self and my friend Ben were both wrong. Turns out that if you've got the right equipment, solar eclipses are actually kind of cool. I hate to say that. I don't know why I hate to say it. I feel like a nerd. I'm a nerd. I like to look at the sun. I like to look directly into the sun. You've just got to be extremely careful because Walt Disney looked directly into the sun. And look what happened to him. He turned to stone or bronze. He turned to statue. What are you thinking, Walt? Put on your protective eyewear. Allie just saw a UFO. What happened?
I don't know. There was just something that was like in front of it for a second.
In front of the sun?
Uh-huh.
That's the moon.
No, not that.
Oh, not the moon. You're saying something else flew in front of the sun, like maybe a flying saucer?
Maybe.
Do you have any proof that it wasn't a flying saucer?
No.
Boom! Suck on that, UFO skeptics. That'll teach them to doubt that there are aliens in the thing in front of the thing. Ha-ha! Speaking of aliens, you guys see my video from Area 51? We just went out to Area 51 again. That was weird. What are they hiding out there, Allie?
I don't know.
You don't know? Or do you know and you're just keeping it from us? How would we know the difference?
You wouldn't.
All right, well, it's about high noon now. And other than the fact that I keep staring up at the sun with my sunglasses instead of the proper equipment, everything seems to have calmed down. Everybody seems pretty cool out here. No human sacrifices, no screaming, no panic. Just a lovely day at Disneyland. And any second now, the sun is going to go back to normal. The moon will drift along on its course, and then we'll be going over to get a gluten-free hot dog. Oh, okay, look at this. Jenny's got a shirt. You actually celebrated. That's so cool. It's funny because as you've seen, you can actually point your phone through those glasses or put those glasses just right over the camera lens of the phone, and you can get a shot of the sun. But look at it now as it gets restored to full cheeseburger size, just one little nibble out of it. It's going in and out of focus now because the sun is so bright. Again, it's blowing out the camera's focus. But it worked perfectly well during the sort of peak of the eclipse there. So we got fortunate. Even here through the GoPro where the sun's just a tiny little dot, you can see the footage isn't great. We aren't really working with the most sophisticated NASA technology out here, but you can still see what's going on. It's a little anticlimactic now here at the end, but it's almost over. All right, here we are trying to get the camera to focus one last look. You can see there's just a little bit of moon in front of the sun. We're being mooned, and it is almost gone. It's about 12:07 now, 12:10, right around there. It's just about finished. Yep, and there you have it. Just a few more minutes have gone by, and that's it. Now I'm staring just at the regular circle. It's just a circle now. It's just the sun. And that means it's gluten-free hot dog time. Well, not Allie. Allie's got a gluten hot dog, and mine may not look that good, but trust me, it is very, very tasty, okay? Celiacs can't be choosers, all right? I'm gonna eat this thing right here. I'm gonna shove it in my gullet. All right, We came, we saw, we solar eclipsed here at the happiest place on earth, Disneyland. And although my planned long road trip to and from Texas just got, well, a little bit off course, I choose to not look at that as a setback, but instead an opportunity to hang around at home for a couple of more days. And that means we're gonna see a few little Disneyland secrets we haven't looked into for a long time, give you a few updates on some old secrets here in the next coming days. We did just finish up a road trip to Nevada, so if you didn't see the deadliest ghost town no one's ever heard of, or the Area 51 adventure or the Clown Motel Redux, aka Staying at the Clown Motel Part 3, those videos are now up, as well as another special episode where we got to take this really cool sneak peek, this up close and personal look at a very massive sort of Disneyland auction, including the private estate of Mark and Alice Davis, two of Walt's earliest Imagineers. Mark Davis in particular did all kinds of work on the Tiki Room over here, the Jungle Cruise, all kinds of animated Disney features and Disneyland projects, and we got to look at his sketchbooks, his paintbrushes, like so many cool little personal things from their home, not to mention all kinds of park used props that were here, so we got to check that all out. They all got auctioned off this past weekend. They are gone now. And just like them, we're about to be gone ourselves because we came, we saw, we eclipsed, we grubbed down on some gluten-free hot dogs. We've done our duty. And the next time I see you, I'm gonna have a very huge announcement. So don't touch that dial. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you push the bell and the thing so you know what's going on. Because people ask me all the time, how come you haven't posted a video in so long? I'm posting videos all the time, gang. It's just you're not seeing them. YouTube likes to smash them and squish them and smoosh them into the bushes. And we're gonna rise up out of the bushes and give you a very cool special announcement coming very soon. So don't touch that dial. I'll see you real soon. Go home, sleep well.